It's Brisbane's 96.5, your family's always number one. Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or just looking at the real estate market, always good to get a couple of tips before you head out to the road. And they're talking more about real estate at the moment. It seems it's picked up a little bit with the market, which is good news for those looking for houses. And I guess in some ways those that are selling. We're joined this morning by Virginia Henery from Remax Territory. Virginia, good morning.
Good morning, Ilya.
This is good news for everyone, isn't it?
It sure is. Yeah, very good news.
Now, if you're looking at buying possibly and you're looking at different areas, before you even decide on the area, it's about identifying value, isn't it?
Okay, one of the first things when I'm looking for a property for myself or helping a client find a property, I'd usually say what you want to do is identify what the median price value for the area is. That way you're going to know where you should sort of be aiming for. Because when it comes time to sell, you want to make sure that your house is either around that median or even under. It just makes it a whole lot easier to be able to sell. Because if you're over it, you're limiting the amount of people that will actually be available to come and buy it.
So when you're looking at that value, what are you sort of looking out for exactly? Some of the tips?
Well, look, one of the main things is making sure that it's near infrastructure. I think we spoke about that last time, like busways and trains and shops and things like that. That's always very good because there might be an isolated area that you particularly like, but again, you're just going to be limiting the amount of people that will want to go to that particular area. So that's a really good thing. The other thing is you want to make sure that you've got potential to be able to add value or improve the property. So it might be even simple things like giving it a fresh coat of paint or changing the floor coverings and things like that. Maybe even just tidying up the gardens, and little things like that can actually make a big difference. If you buy underneath that median house price, it gives you a bit more room to be able to actually spend money on the house. So if you did want to improve the kitchen or the bathroom or whatever, you know you've got a little bit of room to play with without blowing the house value out too much and overcapitalising.
Virginia, when you're looking for that value, I guess is it an important factor to find out why the property is selling in the first place?
Yeah, look, that's a really good way to be able to find a property that you're not going to pay too much for. Unfortunately, people do get themselves in situations where they have to sell very quickly at whatever price. There's a number of reasons why that happens, obviously. Could even just be simple. Someone has to just relocate quickly for a job or something and they desperately have to sell the house. So obviously that's going to give you a bit more bargaining power to be able to get a less price for the property.
So what else are we looking out for?
Look, land zoning is something really good to look for as well. Not everybody's aware of this, but each property is zoned differently within the council. Some areas might be zoned just for residential, so you can only live in that area. Some other places might be zoned for commercial uses, so there might be a house on the property, but you might have potential to be able to knock that down and build offices or shops or something like that. Commercial properties are valued a whole lot higher than residential. So if you've got that potential, then you've got a lot more room to be able to increase the value of the property. Also, you might be able to knock the house down and build units or townhouses or even subdivide the block and get a couple of different blocks from that one lot that you're buying. So anything like that is going to add a lot more value.
It's all about identifying that value and I guess knowing what to look for. Virginia Henery is from Remax Territory. Thank you for those tips.
No problem. Thanks, Ilya.